What's going on, everybody? In this video, I will be previewing the last Civil War between the Oregon Ducks and the Oregon State Beavers, and I'll be giving my prediction for the game. But before I do preview the game, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I would really appreciate it. And also turn on notifications if you want daily uploads, because I post almost every day, so tune in for more videos like this. But without further ado, let's preview the big game between the Oregon Ducks and the Oregon State Beavers and give my prediction. Now, Oregon State is coming off a loss to Washington, which had to have been a heartbreaking home loss. Oregon State is a tough place to play, and Washington went there and had a dogfight with the Oregon State. But give props to Washington for getting the job done. But this week is a different story for Oregon State, as they have to play on the road against the team they actually beat last year. Oregon has owned the rivalry for the last decade, but the last couple years, Oregon State has been a legit team, and they've been ranked a lot the last couple years. And every Oregon State loss this year comes by 3 points or less. Oregon is in for a hell of a game, because this Oregon State team plays with a lot of heart, and they will do anything to stay in this game, against an Oregon team that has been on fire with the largest margin of victory in the country. Albeit, Oregon hasn't played the best resume, but I still find it impressive that they went on the road and beat a Utah team 35-6, in a place where Utah had, I believe, a 19-game home win streak. I could see this game going many ways. It could be a higher scoring shootout because we all know the Ducks can put up numbers, as Bo Nix is still fighting to seal that Heisman Trophy in his bag. But Oregon also has one of the better running backs in the country with Bucky Irving, so this Oregon offense can definitely score if they need to. But they can also be tough on the defensive side, and I can see this being a lower scoring game similar to the Washington game, because it is going to be a battle with the Oregon State offensive line and Oregon's front seven on the defensive side. We all know how good both offensive lines are for both Oregon teams, and we all know that Damian Martinez is a very good running back too. And don't underestimate his ability. But DJ Uiagalelei can also pass the ball well. He may not be as accurate as Bo Nix, but this game could be a shootout if we see Oregon get beat deep. Oregon has cornerbacks and safeties that can make plays, but we've seen with Oregon and Oregon State that they can get beat deep. I'd say more so Oregon State. Just go back and look at that Washington State game where they gave up 400 passing yards on defense. So it's very hard to predict this game, but I do feel like Oregon has the edge in almost every aspect of play. Maybe not the offensive line, but Oregon has a pretty elite offensive line. Both teams are similar, but I would give Oregon the edge in almost every aspect of the game. But anything can happen. It's a rivalry game, and Oregon has a lot on the line in this game with a Pac-12 title berth and a rematch against Washington, and ultimately a chance of making the playoffs for the first time since 2014, which was the first ever playoff. I'm really looking forward to this game. There's only one other top 25 matchup this weekend, and rivalry weekend might not be as good as expected, but there should be a lot of people tuning in for this game on Friday night. Oregon is going to be looking for revenge in this game, which last year they blew a huge lead and lost the game 38-34. If Oregon wins this game, they will avenge one of their losses from Bo Nix and Dan Lanning's first year at Oregon. And then they have a shot at avenging one of their other 3 losses last year, and their only loss this year against Washington. Then what's next? It's likely there's a chance we see a rematch between a much improved Oregon team against a Georgia team that has looked almost unbeatable as of lately. What a story that would be for Bo Nix and Dan Lanning, getting through the Pac-12 to get back to their first ever game, which they lost to Georgia 49-3. That would be a full circle game for Bo Nix, as his first game at Oregon would be a 49-3 loss to Georgia. Then a year later, he has a chance to beat Georgia, along with having the former defensive coordinator at Georgia, Dan Lanning, as your head coach. Look, this is all just speculation, but there's a path for the Ducks. I have faith that we can make the playoffs and at least get our rematch with Georgia. Would it be in the semifinals or finals? I don't know. Would we win it? I also don't know, but my prediction for the national title winner this year was Georgia, because they do look like the best team in the country, and you do have to be realistic. But anyways, this is the last Civil War, and we gotta ask ourselves, what's next for this Oregon State team? Will they move conferences? I don't know. But we all got to give props for this Oregon State team and how far they've came, because we can't forget how bad Oregon State used to be. They used to struggle to get any wins. And it's sad that they're getting left out of the whole conference realignment when they're one of the best teams in the Pac-12. But anyways, there's a lot to this game. I could talk forever, but before I do give my final prediction, let's give some of the information and the stats on this game. This game will be played on a Friday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 Pacific Time for Oregon fans. And this game will be on Fox. Oregon has around an 81% chance, while Oregon State is at around a 19% chance. This game will be played at Autzen Stadium, so Oregon will have home field advantage. And the weather is supposed to be at 49 degrees. Oregon is 13.5 point favorites in this game, and the over-under is at 62.5. Oregon is 7-1 in conference play. With the win, they clinch a spot in the Pac-12 championship game and a rematch against Washington. while Oregon State is 5-3 in conference play. Oregon State is 3-2 in their last 5 games with a close win and multiple close losses, while Oregon is 5-0 in their last 5 games, and they've been dominating, scoring 35 plus a game, holding 3 teams to under 20 points and 2 teams to under 28 points. The leading passer for the Beavers is DJ Uiagalelei, who is a transfer from Clemson. He's been playing decent football and has thrown for 2,418 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. While Bo Nix, one of the best players in college football, has thrown for 3,539 yards, along with 35 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. The leading rusher for the Beavers is Damian Martinez, who is behind a lot of big boys on that Oregon State offensive line. He has ran for 1,047 yards and 9 touchdowns, and he's ran the ball 181 times. While Bucky Irvin for the Ducks has 149 carries for just over 1,000 yards, and he has ran for 10 touchdowns. The leading receiver for the Beavers is Silas Bolden, who has 47 catches for 662 yards and 4 touchdown catches. While Troy Franklin, who is the leading receiver for the Ducks and one of the best receivers in the country, has 68 catches for 1,221 yards and 13 touchdowns. But anyways, that's going to do it for the stats. But without further ado, let's give my prediction for the Oregon State Beavers versus the Oregon Ducks. I do have the Oregon Ducks winning this game 38-28. I think Oregon State will struggle to stop Oregon's offense and all the weapons that they have. They don't just pass the ball well, they run the ball well. But I do have Oregon State putting up a fight. But this Oregon team is legit, and just like Washington, they will be too much for the Beavers, and the Beavers will fall short again. But anyways, that's going to do it for the video. If you guys enjoy these previews, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll do more. But also, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, and also turn on noties if you don't want to miss an upload, because I post almost every day. So tune in for daily videos. But hope you guys enjoyed the video, and peace out, guys.